Hey friend, it is Kate here. Thank you so much for joining me for day 2 of our brand new New Year's challenge. That's right, we are on day 2 of our 2022 New Year's challenge. If you did not do the first video, it's certainly not the end of the world, but you can absolutely go back, do that one first, and then jump on. However, each class is a standalone class, so maybe you're gonna love this one and favorite it and do it all the time. That would be fabulous too. We don't need any props today. We are gonna focus on opening up across our chest, building some strength, using our yoga practice to help kind of give our upper body a little love. If you want to track your progress along on our lovely New Year's challenge, I do have a free journal that I created. You can find that in the link in the description below. It's always nice to kind of, mark off each day when you come to it. So I certainly hope you enjoy class today and roll out your mat. Let's get started. We will simply start standing near the top of our mat with our feet about hip distance apart. Allow your fingertips to dangle. Close your eyes. Draw the low belly in. Lift out of the waist. Broaden across your chest. Lift your ears up a little higher. Almost think of lifting up and away from the ground, like you're trying to almost lift your arches off of the ground. Take a big, deep inhale. Big sigh out. Again, nice full inhale. Let it go. One more time. Big sigh out. Flutter the eyes open. Take a big inhale, reach your hands up nice and high. Rotate the fingers together, lift a little higher out of the waist, full big breath. Exhale, flip the palms, push the hands down. Again, big inhale, swim the hands high. Really reach the fingertips up, 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 up. Stretch from your feet on the floor through your body, out your fingers. Flip the palms, actively push the hands down. One more time, big deep inhale, hands reach high. Take a great big breath. Hands behind the head, push the elbows wide. Now put a soft bend in your knee. It's not like we're going for a chair pose, but just a little bend in the knee so we can lift out of the waist a bit more. We can press our elbows back. Take a big inhale. Without moving your hips, just a little twist to the right. Inhale, pull yourself back center. Little twist to the left. Inhale, pull yourself back center. Let that go. Again, great big inhale, hands reach high. Exhale, flip the palms, push them down. Again, great big inhale, hands reach high. Exhale, push them down. This time, hands reach high and pause. Take another breath. We'll take a twist to the right, but this time reach your right hand back, your left hand forward. Again, try as much as you can to keep the hips pointing forward, not allowing your hip to go back. It's staying, reaching forward, so you can actually enjoy that big twist. Unravel both hands high. Same thing other side. And if it feels better, you could, of course, put that bend back in your knee to really make sure knees and hips are staying in the right direction. Both hands lift high. Exhale, push the palms all the way down. Tuck your chin to your chest, bend the knees, roll into an easy forward fold. Look between your legs. Regardless of how high, how low your forward fold is, let your head dangle. Give it a little sway, a little shake. Maybe send the hips side to side. Maybe rock forward and back. You can even catch your elbows and take a little sway, a little ragdoll. Set your hands on the ground, press back to a little tabletop. Arrive in your tabletop and continue to wake up the body, cat and cow. This can be fast, slow, big, small. Maybe it feels good to circle the head and the tail. Both directions. And then I want you to pause here for a moment. Press away from the mat and really broaden across the chest. Envision that your hands are suction cupped or glued to the mat, and it's like you're physically trying to lift up and away rather than that feeling of pressing down, 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 down. That can help remove tension from the wrist. Pull the navel to spine, broaden across your chest, and from here I want you to reach your right hand up to the sky. Now just send the fingertips up as high as you can and stretch alone from your left hand on the ground through the body out your fingertips. Take a big inhale. Set the hand down. Same thing, other side. Reach your left hand up. Send that to the sky. It's another nice big twist. And I am just extending further and further away, lifting the fingertips up as high as I can. Drop the hands down. Now this time we're going to go a little bit deeper. I want you to reach your right foot behind you. And at first we can actually tuck the right toe and just enjoy a nice little stretch to the back of the calf muscle there. Sometimes it even feels good to kind of round, push away, drop my head down to relax the neck a little bit more. But eventually elongate the spine. And now from here, I want you to take your left toe and point it behind you so we can reach our right hand up. We're in a little stargazer or modified side plank, whatever you want to call it. But reach the fingertips up high. And now reach your fingertips in line with your ears. Enjoy that great big side body stretch. From here, flip your palm up to the sky and send your hand back behind you. Maybe it feels good just to hold right there, but you can start to circle the hand all the way around. And maybe it feels good to keep the circle a little bit smaller than what I'm doing, or maybe you really want to stretch even deeper, even pausing in one spot. Go ahead, reverse your circle. Take the fingertips as far away from your shoulder as possible. And then set the hand all the way back down. Belly button in, shoulders broad. This time send the left foot out. Press the heel back, tuck the toe. Find that nice stretch to the back of the calf muscle. Maybe round, drop the head like we did on the other side. Return yourself to center. Now this time point your right toe to the right as you lift your left hand high for our lovely little stargazer or modified side plank, whatever you want to call it. And you can just start by reaching your fingertips up and then sending them up overhead. Notice what feels different from one side to the other. Do we want to be still right here? Are you ready to reach your hand back behind you, maybe pointing your nose up to the sky? Maybe you just want to hang there with the hand, or you can start those big, delightful circles all the way around the body. Both directions. And then eventually both hands come back down to your tabletop. Point the toes together, send the knees away, sink back into your child's pose. Curl the fingertips further away. And I want you to clasp the hands together, and if we can, bend your elbows, pushing your hands back behind your head. You might feel a little bit of a stretch kind of underneath the armpits, underneath our arms. It might feel lovely to stay right here. I like to curl my elbows further away from my body and then press my elbows into the mat more as I reach my sternum closer to the ground. Great big inhale. Big breath out. One more inhale. Big breath out. Unravel the arms. Go ahead and find your tabletop. And then we're just going to be in our downward facing dog for just a moment, so don't worry, but just tuck your toes, lift your heels, send your sitting bones high. Think about hugging your inner arms towards your ears, pushing your sitting bones up higher. Remember, our downward dog is not about straight legs, it is about a straight spine. Hold there for a moment, maybe soften the shoulders down. Just take a moment to notice what it feels like to do our downward facing dog right now. And now look to the top of the mat, walk your toes up to meet your hands, find your forward fold, bend the knees, roll yourself all the way up to 2, standing. Now I want you to walk your feet together, seal your inner thighs like I gave you a slip of paper and I said hold it between your inner thighs. And then all we're going to do from here is sit back in our chair pose. Now, if you've taken any classes with me, you'll know what I'm probably about to say, but often in our chair pose, I often see people dump into their low back, coming into our Beyonce booty, which we want to avoid. We want our low back long. So think about navel to spine, low back long and straight, sitting bones reaching to the back edge of the mat. It's almost like someone is kind of pulling your hips down, but you are reaching your fingertips nice and far forward. Now from here, flip your palms so they're facing away from your body. Take a big deep inhale. As you exhale, I want you to cactus your arms off to the side. Now, without arching the back, without splaying the ribs, think about pressing your elbows and hands almost back behind you, both so we feel the muscles in our arms start to work a little harder to press back, and also so we might get a nice stretch across the front of our chest. From here, take a big inhale. Exhale, maybe sit just a little bit deeper. Another great big inhale. Big sigh out. Now 5 times. I want you to keep your elbows and hands pressing back behind you, but slide them up overhead. Exhale, pull the navel to spine, pull your elbows down. Inhale, reach them up over your head. Exhale, keep pressing elbows and hands back behind you. So your upper body, our arms should be nice and engaged the entire time. I'm not just flopping my arms down and up. I am purposefully moving my hands forward. I am purposefully exhaling, toning the tummy and pulling my elbows back. One more time, reach the hands forward and pause. Hug the navel to spine, send your sitting bones a little bit further back. Take a big inhale, big breath out. Another big inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Heel toe the feet about as wide as your hips. Softly bend the knees. Let your head fall. Take an inhale. Push your hands into your shins. Half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Last one, half lift, pause. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees, roll yourself all the way up to standing. Again, bring the feet to touch, navel to spine, shoulders back, sit into your chair pose. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Flip the palms once more so they're away from the body, and cactus the arms. Hug navel to spine, draw the ribs in, take a big inhale, big breath out. Great big inhale, big breath out. Now, just like we did before, we're going to straighten our arms, continuing to press the hands almost back behind us and just leave them right there. Can you pick up your right heel? Almost find a little stretch across the ball of your right foot underneath your arch. Stomp the heel down. Pick up your left heel. Big inhale. Exhale, press the heel down. One more time, lift up the right heel. Push it down. Tone the tummy, lift up the left heel. Push it down. Reach your hands side to side. Envision there's a table underneath your palms. Press down into the table, low belly up and in. Sit a little bit deeper. Big, deep, full inhale. Big breath out. Now pick up your right heel again. Press down into your left leg and slowly stand tall. Now this might be enough for us. Maybe this is enough of a balance challenge, just lifting our heel up. But if you can, press down into your imaginary table more, activating your arms. Exhale, pick up your toe. Now your foot can be kind of floppy, it can be pointed, flex, whatever feels good for you, but continue to reach your left ear up to the sky, roll the shoulders down, kiss the shoulder blades together and press down into the ground with your foot. Take a big, deep, full inhale, big sigh out. Now can we just simply tap our toe to the ground, exhale, pick the knee up. Tap the toe to the ground, press into your imaginary table as you pick the knee up. So your arm muscles, our upper body should be just as active as our lower body. 2 more down and up. Last one, down and up. Pause. Take a big inhale. Big breath out. Inhale, sit back in your chair pose. Navel to spine. Flip the palms. Cactus the arms. Press elbows and hands back. Low belly up and in. Big inhale. Big breath out. Straighten the hands up overhead once more. Again, go ahead and pick up your left heel. Find that stretch. Set the heel down. Tone the tummy, pick up your right heel. Set it down. Again, left heel lifts and lowers. Right heel lifts and lowers. Pause, squeeze the inner thighs, draw the ribs in, sit your hips back, push your hands to that T shape, press it down into your imaginary table, squeeze the inner thighs together, pick up your left heel. Slowly stand tall on your right side. It's like I'm holding your right ear, pulling it up to the sky. Big inhale, press it down into your imaginary table, pick up your left knee. Now again, you can always walk over to a chair, a wall to give yourself some extra balance if we need it. But otherwise, again, can we tap our toe to the ground? Exhale, belly button in, pick it up. And remember, do not let your arms be floppy. Reach the fingertips nice and far away from the body. Pull your shoulder blade tips towards one another. Draw the ribs in a little closer and actively press down into your imaginary table. Inhale, toe down. Exhale, pick it up. Last one, toe down. Exhale, pick it up, pause. Take a big inhale. Big breath out. Inhale, sit back into your chair pose. Full, big, deep breath. Big sigh out. From here, I want you to reach your hands all the way out in front of you. I'm going to turn this way so you can see me a little bit better. Now, instead, all I want you to do is keep pressing down into your imaginary table, but lower your right hand. Give yourself a hug. Give yourself a hug. Now, if this is as far as we go, this is okay. You can lift the elbows in line with your shoulders. If you have the range of motion, you can press the backs of your hands together or even clasp the fingertips around. If that does not work for us, it's okay. But we're in our chair pose with our eagle arms. Now squeeze the inner thighs, pull the navel in, go ahead and stand tall and straight so we can focus on our upper body. If it feels better, you can open your legs about hip distance. And from here, all I want us to do is reach our elbows forward, pulling our shoulder blades apart behind us, and then pull the shoulders and elbows in. I'm going to turn backwards so you can see. I am reaching my elbows forward. I'm making space behind my body, and then I'm trying to hug my elbows and my shoulder blades in. A couple of times just like that. Now, again, you can have your hands in our full little eagle arm bind, or we could be doing this with our hands on our shoulders too. And again, it's okay either space, but go ahead and stop for a moment. Lift the belly button up, lift your head up a little higher, and I want you to circle your elbows around. Circle them in the other direction. Lift your elbows up, hug the shoulder blades together, pull the navel up and in, take a big inhale, big breath out, unravel the hands, shake it out, walk the feet together, sit back in your chair pose, belly button up and in, take a big breath, big sigh out. Flip the palms, press it down into your imaginary table in front of you. Again, I'm going to turn this way. This time, drop the left hand lower. Give yourself a hug. Give yourself a hug, and then choose your path. Do we want to just poke our elbows forward? Do we want to try to touch the hands or even clasp? Your call. But eventually stand tall, choose if you want feet together. If you have a habit of locking out your knees, you can bend the knees so you can lift out of the body. But once more, go ahead and push the shoulders forward and then hug them back. Push the shoulders forward and then hug them back. A couple of times at your own pace. Now this time, pause, navel to spine, circle the elbows around with or without the bind. Circle them in the other direction. Pause, take a big in breath. Let it go. Shake it out. Walk the feet together. Sit back in your chair pose. Low belly up and in. Flip the palms. Cactus the arms. Press elbows and hands back. Take a great big inhale. Big breath out. Inhale, straighten the hands up overhead. Exhale, bend the elbows, pull them back. Inhale, straighten the hands up overhead. Exhale, tone the tummy, pull them back. 3 more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. 2 more, reach. Exhale, bend. Last one, reach, pause. Take a big breath. And forward fold. Heel toe the feet a little wider. Let the head hang heavy. Sway the hips a little. Drop back down to your tabletop. And then from here, go ahead and roll the shoulders around. Just noticing how that feels. Opposite direction. And then point the toes together, open the knees wide once more, sink back into your child's pose. Notice any changes from the first time we did our child's pose, reaching our hands out after we've done some strengthening and some stretching and a little mobility work there with our upper body. Crawl the fingertips together once more, clasp the hands and push the hands behind your head. Maybe walk the elbows away like we did earlier and press your sternum closer to the mat. Notice what's changed since we first arrived. Big inhale, big breath out. Another big inhale. Big breath out. Unravel the hands. Go ahead and open them up a little wider. Push yourself up. We're going to come into our downward facing dog again. Tuck the toes, lift the hips higher. Now, sometimes my students, my friends, we don't always like downward facing dog because it's hard on our shoulders. Doing a little upper body work like we just did and some mobility work might make the downward facing dog a little more accessible. And even for those of us that do downward dog quite a lot, notice what feels different. Are you able to reach your tailbone up a little more? Does it feel like you can broaden across your chest and relax the head and neck? Take a full big inhale. Easy breath out. If you want to, head can stay in line with your inner arms, or maybe just let the top of the forehead or the top of the head fall to the ground. You could even take a little nod of your head side to side. And then pause. Send the sitting bones up higher. Look to the top of the mat. Take a breath. Big sigh out. Drop it down. One final time. Child's pose. How active or passive do you want this to be? Maybe you're really just ready to sink. Maybe we've had a lot of work on our upper body, and to give your shoulders a rest, one of my favorite variations is to pull my knees together, round more over the top of my knees, and then reach my hands back behind me, making my body more of a little kind of egg shape. Just letting my shoulder blades part behind my body and letting my forehead come close to the mat. Take a big deep inhale. Big breath out. Another inhale. Big breath out. Eventually, take your hands by your sides. Roll yourself up to a nice, easy seat. Sit tall, sit straight, shoulders back, head high. As always, a pat on the back. Thank yourself for doing something so good and just for you. I certainly hope you enjoyed our yoga class with a focus on upper body today. Thank you for joining me for day 2 of our challenge. I cannot wait to keep going, and I cannot wait to see you tomorrow for day 3.